Life will begin to open up the moment you begin to let go. You need to surrender to the path. And it's so challenging as a man to be able to surrender to the unknown, to surrender to who knows what. You don't know what's coming for you, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I think a great analogy for this process of surrendering is the idea of going into a pond, going into a lake, like this one right here. And you go into this pond, and you have no idea how deep it is. You have no idea if you're going to stand right away. You have no idea if it's 20 meters deep. But you go into that pond because you trust yourself that you know how to swim. That even if you can't touch the ground, you have faith in the ability to tread water, the ability to survive, the ability to thrive. Because when you stop surviving, you begin to thrive, right? So the swimmer who's swimming effortlessly in the water, that swimmer is thriving, versus the person who doesn't know how to swim is surviving. Now I think you could extrapolate this analogy and apply it to life. You see, we all have to surrender, but the one person who's holding on for dear life, that person is surviving. That person's nervous system's in a fight or flight, right? A sympathetic state. When you let go and you trust the process, even if you're not super skilled at whatever it may be, you begin to thrive. And I think it's not black and white though. I don't want to say that it's this simple, even though it is sometimes this simple. A lot of us have curveballs thrown at us, and that puts us in a state of survival, right? But it's about constantly having faith that whatever's meant for you will come for you, right? Life's happening for us, not to us. And that subtle mindset tweak goes such a long way. That's given me so much peace to know that no matter what's happening, it's happening for my greater good. And some things are really shitty that it's hard to really see that. But when you look back, the dots all connect, right? The dots all connect. As Steve Jobs would say, as Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And I watched this video the other day, and it talked about how, maybe you've heard this before, the spiritual belief that we choose our parents, right? We choose the people that are, that are raising us, that are bringing us into this world. But I saw this video that took things one step further, and I like this, and I want to share this with you. He said, not only do we choose our parents, but we choose our trauma. We choose our shortcomings, our weaknesses, the pain, the suffering, the loneliness, the heartbreak, the grief, the eating disorder, the addiction, whatever it may be. We choose all of this. Our soul, our essence chooses this. Now, whether this is true or not, we'll never know, but that's not the point I want to make. The point I want to make is, if we do choose all this, then it's all happening for our greater good, right? There's always a lesson to learn out of everything. The addiction, the divorce, the heartbreak, right? And I think it's important just to choose a belief that serves you, right? Whether it's within your religion or just in general. What belief serves you? Does it serve you to think that we choose everything? Or does it serve you to know that things are happening to us and we don't choose these things, and we're just given these shitty cards we have to work with? Like, wouldn't it empower you to think that whatever's happening in your life, you actually didn't even choose, or you did choose, I should say? Wouldn't it empower you to know that maybe a past version of yourself, or your true soul, your true essence, wants you to go through this, wants you to be isolated, to understand what's the power of true connection and community, wants you to be heartbroken, to chase less, to understand what true love looks like? You see, in life, we're always overcompensating. Even if we don't understand the idea of us choosing things, whether you believe it or not, when you grow up, you end up overcompensating, right? So for me, for example, this is a little bit personal, but I used to be very anxious and struggling socially. I really struggled socially at one point in my life for a few years in high school. things were really challenging for me. I didn't know how to fit. I didn't fit in. I lost a bunch of friends, and I didn't get invited to things, to parties, and it felt very isolating. But going through that experience and coming out on the other side of it and building confidence and going through puberty and becoming more of a man and actually understanding how to socialize with people and, communication and all that, that's allowed me to excel now at communication, to excel at social settings. People ask me, like, you're such a natural at talking to people, at having conversations. You must have always been an extrovert. Or, maybe they don't even tell me to my face. Maybe they're just telling other people that Jared, oh, he's so extroverted. How does he make so many friends? Maybe people are saying that. But the reality is I never used to be like that. I used to be so introverted. The pendulum just swung the other way to overcompensate. Right? The leader may not have been a leader his whole life. Maybe he was the one following the pack, and he felt very insecure. So now he's overcompensating to be a leader, to be a voice, to be someone who leads by example. And it goes the other way around, right? So I think you understand what I'm trying to say here, is that we're always overcompensating in life, and everything is happening for a reason. Everything is happening for us. So I started off this video by saying surrendering. And really, to take things one step deeper is to audit yourself, audit your life, see where you're falling short. See things that come natural to you and work on the things that don't. Because at the end of the day, nobody was just born with greatness. I believe everyone has their own sort of seed of greatness, but they have to work towards that and actualize that and bring it into physical reality. We all have our, as they say, our inner genius, right? What is yours? What is yours? I love to write. I love to make videos, I would say. Yeah, I like to be creative, make videos. I love to build community and just see people, together in a social setting, in a circle. That brings me a lot of joy. And maybe that brings me joy because I didn't have that at one point. That's all I ever wanted, was to be a part of something bigger than myself, right? So this process of understanding, where did I fall short in my life? What are my shortcomings? Where are my weaknesses, right? I think that's where your power comes from, not just your strengths, right? Because weaknesses bring pain, and pain brings something beautiful into this world. When you spend time alone with that pain, with that suffering, with whatever it may be, that's when the truest art forms are made, right? Any great painter, any great artist in general, they went through these periods of just true suffering and pain to bring something beautiful into the world. Now, look, we're getting a little bit off topic here, but if you watched this far, which I know you have, because why wouldn't you? Hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, if you're wanting to connect, talk about whatever may be your life, my life, community, connection, topics that I'm passionate about, topics that you're passionate about, there's a link down below to have a chat. I also offer one-on-one mentorship if you want to just chop it up and see if there's a good fit to work together on alignment with yourself, to make money online, and to truly do something you're passionate about. Because that's what I am able to talk about, as I'm embodying that myself and doing that myself. So as always, much love. Check out this beautiful nature behind me. It's awesome. It's a pond here, and it's beautiful. So as always, much love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.